Have Dungeons and Dragons players taken the cringe too far? Guy derails campaign to seduce his own sister. So I play with a group of people that I more or less have known since high school and college. The DM was one of my best friends since we were 14. Most of us are guys, but there are two girls: that guy's sister, Paladin, and my high school friend, Ranger. There were three other guys at the table. That guy, Fighter, and Barbarian. I'm just going to refer to most of these people by their class since there's no way in hell I'm using real names. Anyway, we hadn't played D&D in a while because of the pandemic, and even afterwards we all kind of had hectic schedules because of school and work. That guy's sister and Barbarian were still in college. But a couple of months ago we decided to run a home-brewed campaign that was supposed to be like a mix between Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. The campaign was supposed to be very dark and I was excited. Well, we get to session 01 and that guy's sister introduces us to him. He was her older brother and clearly socially awkward. He always seemed like the younger brother despite being 7 years older, but he seemed like a good guy at first. So we get into the game and we start to see red flags with this guy almost immediately. He was constantly threatening NPCs, even going as far as to murder a random drow. He is supposedly a lawful good wizard, but he claims that murdering this drow is a lawful good act because drow are an evil race by definition. This was blatantly untrue in our campaign, but he went all rules lawyer on us when we tried to tell him this wasn't the case. He also saves the body parts of the NPCs and creatures he or the party kills, including the testicles. He also would constantly flirt with the Paladin, his sister's character. We just kind of assumed it was his character decision and she would pretty much just go along with it, and we didn't question it too much until the dumbass level 1 wizard with no armor attempts to block a firebolt to defend his full HP Paladin sister who is a whole level above him. So obviously he dies. We almost all got killed because of this. We ended up having to barely flee the encounter and leave him to the ogre thinker to kill him. He then rolls an artificer. And surprise surprise, he is basically the exact same character, except he dropped the pretense of being lawful good and just went full murder hobo. His flirtation with the Paladin intensified until he died again and again. Playing the same Paladin loving murder hobo over and over. He even got to the point where he would basically murder anyone who even spoke to her. At this point we start thinking this is just getting weird. How many characters can you go through before the whole "it's what my character would do" excuse stops working for hitting on your sister? We end up having a little talk with him about his characters and try to gently steer him into playing something different or flirting with another character. He got really defensive and pissy and basically gave us the whole "it's what my character would do" excuse. We didn't want to push this or cause more problems. So we let it go. Well, he kept on escalating until he was making sexual comments about her character. Sexual content is fine in our game, but the context was making this increasingly weird. Eventually he made a comment that was clearly related to her Earl appearance and not the character, so we ended up messaging her to ask her if she wants us to kick him, but she said no. Her response was just that he is just really into the roleplay. He really likes you guys too. Yeah, because mindlessly murdering every NPC that mildly annoys him is totally quality RP. This story doesn't have a dramatic ending with the problem player going full incel and getting kicked or anything. We are pretty much just playing with that guy and trying to keep him from murdering too many important NPCs and ignoring him when he occasionally tries to, badly, be an obnoxious rules lawyer or hit on his sister's character. Thankfully the DM has basically caught on and most of his shenanigans just lead to him dying. He is now a full 3 levels behind the rest of the party and we pretty much go into combat as if he is not even there.